Hello friends, today we learn the remaining part of the poem To Atom. The second stanza of the poem, Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store, sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find. In this stanza, the stanza describes the occupation of Atom. Atom here personifies as a winnower, as a reaper, as a gleaner, and as a cedar presser. Atom is seen here as a woman who performed the task of winnowing, reaping, gleaning, and cedar pressing. If anyone wants to see the process of atom, he may go to the field and he will see the women engaged in the all process of winnowing, reaping, cedar pressing, and so on. Thee sitting careless on a granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind. The woman winnowing the corn at that time, the hair or locks of hair ruffles by the wind or the breeze, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, or on a half reaped furled sound sleep. And the secondly, we may see the atom in the shape of a reaper or half on a reaped furrow sound asleep. Reaper has been engaged in reaping corn, but who in the course of her work is so overcomes by the sleeping or sleep inducing smell of poppies, and the woman engaged in the soft sound asleep, and when she sleeps in the air of atom, then the perfume of the poppies drowsed her, and she was drowsy in that possession, while thy hook spares the next swath and all its dwindled flowers. Then the next row of the corn remains unreaped because of the asleep of the or the drowsiness of the woman. In the third part of the stanza, the atom may be seen in the character of a gleaner who is walking along steadily with the weight of grains upon her head. And sometimes, like a gleaner, thou dost keep steady thy laden heads across a brook, and at that time, the woman, like a gleaner, she becomes steady, means motionless, and she was able to cross the brook. Brook means stream or the river. And finally, the atom may be seen in the form of a cedar press or by cedar press figure of a woman who is crushing the ripe apples ripe apples in the wooden press to obtain their juice, from which cedar is to be made. Or by cedar press with patient, she looks patiently. The woman sits by the cedar press and watches patiently the apple juice flowing out of the press drop by drop. Thou watchest the last oozing hours by hour. She patiently watches the drop of the juice of apple while pressing the cedar. Now, here it is in this stanza the poet personifies the woman and the woman performs a different role. Atom is personified as a woman. Now, in the last stanza, there is a comparison of sound of spring and the sound of atom. In this stanza, the poet describes the sound of atom. The spring is distinguished its song. These sweet songs are not heard in atom. Where are the songs of spring? Yeah, where are they? Where is the songs of spring? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. The song of spring is more important, but the song of atom is not less important. It is the comparison of the sound of spring and sound of atom. But there is no need to feel any regret on that account. Atom has its own peculiar music. Thou hast thy music too. While barred clouds bloom the soft dying day and touch the stubble plains with rosy hue, then in a wailful choir the small gnat mourns among the river shallows. The sound of the atom The sound of the atom are heard in the evening when the sun is setting. A soft glow irradiates the field from which the crop has been reaped, leaving the stumps behind. The long drawn out clouds in the sky looks like the bars of a grate. And at this time the melancholy buzzing of the gnats is heard, and the melancholy sound of the morn means melancholy sounds of the gnats heard. A long drawn out clouds in the sky looks like the bars of a grate. Among the river's shallows borne aloft, or singing as the light wind lives or dies, and full grown lambs loud bleat from hilly morn. Hedge crickets sing, and now with treble soft, the redbreast whistles from a garden croft, and gathering swallows twitter in the sky. Then in a wailful choir the small gats mourning. The small gats mourn, the melancholy sound of the small gats is heard. The gnats fly about among the shrubs growing on the river side. The gnats are carried upward when the wind is strong, and they come downwards when the wind is feeble. The flying of the gnats is important or is depend on the wind. When the wind is feeble, then the gnats singing in a upward direction. Hedge crickets sing and now with treble soft, the red breast whistles from a garden cropped. And also, in addition to the gnats singing in a melancholy chorus, the bleating of full-grown lambs is heard from the hilly area which bounded the landscape. Then there are also the chirping of the grasshoppers, and there is also the high, bold and delicate singing of the redbreast, which sings from an garden craft or the orchard. Finally, there is the twittering of the swallows, which are gathering in large number to get ready for their winter migration. And there is the common sound of winters, hedge crickets and the redbreast whistles and the hedge crickets are the common sound of winter, and it is then the second season is winter. Then in the last stanza there is a comparison between the sound of autumn and the sound of spring. Which type of sound creates in autumn and which type of sound creates in the spring season. Different types of insects and different types of animals like lambs sounds are heard in spring season and in autumn season also. Now friends, in first stanza we see the fruitfulness, and in the second stanza we see the laborious work, or atom is personified as woman, and in the last stanza there is the ultimate ends of the autumn season, or the comparison between the two seasons. Now we will stop here. ही पोयम तुम्हाला समजलीच असेल. आता आपलं सर्व शिकवणं लेसन पोयम झालेले आहे. तरी मी जे PDF स्वरूपात तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन ॲन्सर सेंड करत आहे ते तुम्ही काळजीपूर्वक वाचावे. तेच तुम्हाला परीक्षेच्या उपयोगी राहतील. मी सर्व लेसनचे आणि सर्व पोयमचे PDF तुम्हाला ते लेसन शिकवल्यानंतर पाठवलेले आहेत. तरी त्या PDFचा तुम्ही व्यवस्थित अभ्यास करायचा. ते क्वेश्चन ॲन्सर वाचावे. ॲन्सरही दिलेले आहेत, त्याच्यात 4 ऑप्शन आहेत. त्यापैकी जो बोल्ड ऑप्शन आहे तो ॲन्सर म्हणून समजावा. ॲन्सर म्हणून तसं मी याच्यामध्ये लिहिलेलं आहे वर, की जे बोल्ड जे आहे ते ॲन्सर म्हणून तुम्ही समजायचं आहे, तेच ॲन्सर आहे. आणि प्रत्येक लेसनचे आणि पोयमचे तुम्हाला PDF स्वरूपात MCQs मी पाठवलेले आहेत. त्यामुळे तुम्हाला परीक्षा देण्यामध्ये कुठल्याच प्रकारची अडचण येणार नाही. ते PDF तुम्ही व्यवस्थितपणे दररोज 2 PDF जरी वाचले तुम्ही, 2-3 PDF, तरी तुमच्या परीक्षेच्या वेळेपर्यंत तुमचा चांगला अभ्यास होऊ शकतो. उद्या आपण जो ग्रामरचा पोर्शन आहे तो पाहू. ठीक आहे.